Welcome to the 2018 Governor's Housing Conference. This is an exciting time because not only will we be recognizing the exceptional achievements made by 5 of our housing partners, but we'll also be celebrating the great work that all of you do throughout the year in your communities. As you know, the theme of this year's conference is leveraging regional partnerships. So I'd like to mention that one of the key features that all of our award winners demonstrated this year is how they effectively formed broad-based collaborations to really make a substantial impact. These 5 projects are strong examples of how organizations can come together around a collective idea and bring others into the mix who share that vision. From forming partnerships to serving families facing homelessness to providing permanent supportive housing and fostering collaborations to address serious home health issues. This work is so impactful and important. It makes me proud to work side by side with you.
Congratulations to all the 2018 Governor's Housing Conference Award winners. Your innovative models are helpful to all of us in advancing affordable housing across the Commonwealth. But thank you to everyone in the audience, because housing is a challenging and exhilarating field. Housing is at the center of life, and all the work you do is so critical to education, our K-12 system. It's critical as a social determinant of health to making sure that everyone has a safe and affordable place to live. And it's critical to our economy. Housing is the 6th largest industry, and it's also key to determining where people live and where businesses locate. So you are at the center of some of the most important work in our Commonwealth, and I hope you'll take time to learn from each other and take that home to your regions and make progress in making Virginia an even better place to live, work, and do business. Thank you so much.
We're really pleased and proud of this development that we've done here at St. James Plaza. We worked in partnership with St. James United Methodist Church and with the City of Alexandria to really undertake a redevelopment and repositioning of this property. It had been a church and a small office, and we wanted to build a mixed income community. Part of the legacy that the church wanted to leave behind was affordable housing, but we knew that in terms of the size and scale of the redevelopment we're going to be undertaking, that it was going to work best to do it as a mixed income development. So we've got 93 affordable units, as well as we've sold off a piece of the land to a townhome developer, and they're going to build 31 market rate units, townhome units. We also have on-site daycare programming with our neighborhood partner called Campagna Center. Daycare right here, which is a terrific amenity for not only for our residents, but eventually for the families who are going to be living at the townhomes just across the way. So this has been an effort that has gone on for about 4 years and has really been a dynamic, important change. We've had just thousands of residents on our waiting list, and really just speaks to the need in this area to be able to provide affordable housing for people so that they can live near where they work, and we're very happy to be able to have pulled that off.
Hilliard House is our emergency shelter program for families, and it's one of 2 programs we have here at Housing Families First. And something that's a little unique about our Hilliard House emergency shelter is that every family gets their own bedroom and bathroom. Every family has an individual key to their door, so they have a level of privacy that not all families can enjoy in shelter, and that really affirms the dignity of families and also helps promote their autonomy as we're talking about housing solutions. We have a total of 30 beds here for children and parents, and we take all family compositions, so we have single dads, single moms, grandmothers, parents and children any family composition that has minor children, 10 individual bedrooms, but we also tried to make it a really home-like environment. We've really worked to make it as welcoming as we can. We want it to be a welcoming space, a great space for families, but also we keep a laser focus on seeing beyond the walls here at the shelter and helping families think about being back in the community in their own home. Shelter is not the solution to homelessness. Housing's the solution to homelessness, but we see shelter as an important tool that can help families emotionally stabilize from a crisis time in their lives, and a time that they can connect to resources, both formal resources and informal ones, to help build support that's going to lead to long-term housing stability for them. We really want to see our families successful, and we're happy that over 200 people are able to find a safe space and crisis housing with us, and that most are able to truly move into a permanent rental home of their own at the end of their stay here.
Redeveloping a community like Friendship Court is incredibly complex, particularly when you're talking about multiple phases over multiple years. Nonetheless, there are three core principles that we're holding true to throughout that process. One is the mixed income model and making sure that there's the right balance hit between introducing new community members, but also maintaining that sense of social cohesion that's here now. One of the other critical core concepts is the commitment to zero displacement, that no one is going to be displaced during redevelopment. The final core concept is the inclusion of the resident advisory committee as core decision makers throughout all of the work that we're doing.
Anything that we need to vote on is voted on by residents exclusively. So we're the ones making the decisions. They're bringing the information to us, but we're ultimately the ones that vote and decide as a group what's best for Friendship Court as a community.
So for the last 2 years, it's been an effort at getting the right input, establishing the right decisions, and lining ourselves up for a really comprehensive and amazing redevelopment of Friendship Court. The fact that we have a little bit of open acreage on the site allows us to do a phase one without displacing anybody during redevelopment. Once that phase is built, a certain portion of the residents will then move into that housing, which will then allow us to take down some old housing, and then we phase accordingly through 4 phases overall. That is a critical, that was a critical point of advocacy from the residents to make sure that there was zero displacement throughout. And the model that the residents have really supported at its core is this idea of a third, a third Section 8, a third additional affordable, and a third market rate. And that feels like the right balance for them to maintain their sense of community and cohesion as a community, but also begin to reintegrate the Friendship Court to the city as a whole.
Lead poisoning is actually the #1 preventable environmental health problem facing our children today in the United States. Lead Safe Roanoke is a HUD-funded program. We are based here in Roanoke City, and of course our job is to make sure that we're taking care of these homes that are jeopardized by lead-based paint. We focus on children, small children especially, age 5 and under with our grant. They're more susceptible to lead poisoning. Their bodies don't see lead as a toxin. They see it as a nutrient like calcium or zinc, and so their bodies will absorb the lead, unlike an adult's body who will kick out unneeded or unwanted nutrients. So we want to make sure that we bring these contractors in. We put them on the cases that are definitely serious for lead poisoning. If the home also is in need of something else, a repair like mold or mildew, whether they have fire problems, tripping hazards, pest problems, this is another issue that we can take a look at and make a difference in changing that for the homeowner. Then on top of that, we also have funding to help with making sure that we educate City of Roanoke when it comes to lead hazards. We offer RRP classes, which is Renovate, Repair, and Paint. These classes are offered to make sure that contractors as well as homeowners know that there's a way that they can take care of this problem on their own or with a little help. 86.9% of the homes built in this area were built before 1978, which is the year that they banned lead-based paint. So we have a enormous area to make sure that these families are safe, and low-income families especially are more susceptible to this. They don't have the funds to necessarily take care of those issues caused by lead-based paint. So that's why there's a great program like ours that can come in and help with that kind of thing.
Church Street Station has 80 studio apartments, fully furnished, for people who've experienced homelessness and have the very lowest incomes, what we consider to be 30% or less of area median income. Most folks are earning $10,000 a year or less. And so we're providing affordable housing. Folks pay 30% of their income in rent. They sign a lease and they can stay as long as they wish. So that's the housing piece. And once we provide that and get some housing stability, people know that they're going to sleep, they know that they're going to be safe, they know where their next meal is going to come from, and they can start to work on some of the other issues that they'd like to deal with. So Church Street Station isn't just housing, but it has supportive services available. We found that supportive services work best when they're voluntary, whether they want to deal with some unmet health needs, whether they're ready to work on their education or some job skills training, whether they're ready to deal with some recovery issues or reentry. We try to make them services comprehensive and tailored to meet the needs of every resident. Church Street Station was made possible by lots of partners. Homelessness doesn't end at a county or a city line, and we need all those regional partners to do projects like Church Street Station. So we'd like to thank the City of Norfolk, the City of Virginia Beach, the Norfolk Redevelopment and Housing Authority, our partners at the state and at the U.S. Department of Housing, and lots of other community service providers and partners who've supported us, and folks who both help fund the project and also help us operate it by providing all those services and support to our residents. We're all unified behind making sure that our residents don't return to homelessness. And together, projects like this can help us end homelessness in Virginia.